Nice shirts. It says Stax, actually. That was for me. Stax. Let's talk about Don Nix.
Yeah, cool.
Or you talk about Don Nix.
He was no, wait a minute. Now, this is a conversation, so it's like question and answer stuff.
Well, I don't know anything about Don Nix.
Yeah, but you know, I got to say that because all these people saying stuff about you interrupting. No, it's a conversation, you know, and that's what this is all about. What this thing that we're doing, it's like a being in our home, whom we are, and just spending time with, you know, Coco and Bobby. That's really what it is, you know. We're not out to light the world on fire or anything, you know. Just kind of pass along some information and knowledge.
This is our channel.
Huh?
This is our channel.
Yeah, it's ours. You know, we can, hey, you know, we can talk about any way we want, you know. You know, this is our thing. But, yeah, this is a conversation with Coco and me. All of these are, you know, and they're informative. You know, I remember stuff. I think it's really good for me, this what we're doing, because it really opens up a channel, you know, or many channels, you know, in my memory banks, you know. I compartmentalize everything. So I have stuff, and I've been doing this all my life, is compartmentalizing things. That's the way I don't get too bogged up, you know. There's no way. I did it before I knew what it was, before I knew what the word was. There's no way I would remember everything I do if it was all in one big room. You know, it's a whole lot of different rooms, and so I have all stories about different segments all throughout my life, from when I was a little fella, you know, to today, you know,
right.
Up to right today. I remember stuff from when I was in my diapers, you know. So I have stories from them because I was real aware, you know. All my life, I do not know, but I've always been very aware of everything, my surroundings, everyone, what they say, you know. And I remember every name and face of anyone that I've ever met in my entire life, you know. I may get things wrong a little bit, like put the name and wrong name with the wrong face, but it all comes back, you know. It really does.
Well, you're a natural born storyteller, and I would like to mention the fact that on stage, I try to stop you from telling the stories, and I'll say something about it, and everybody after the show will say, stop doing that. Let Bobby tell his stories. He's a great storyteller. Yeah. Somebody got upset because you're talking about, you know, you have stories that are just not about music. And yeah. I mean, after all, what in the world would we do if we didn't talk about the background stories, good or bad? You know, I mean, no one's trying to trash anyone.
No, it's like, you know, if you don't know what the background of the story is, you really don't know the complete story, because it's kind of like having a tree and not knowing what the roots are like, you know.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, you know. So that's really it, you know. That is really it. And Don Nix was a good friend and still is to this day. He's still living in Memphis, but I guess you could say he discovered me, you know. I was already playing and everything, but with my band, and it was Wayne Thompson, Lonnie Lawson, Stanley Cecil, and me. You know, we were the Counts, and at the end of the day, you know, that's what we were. And playing Expressway to Your Heart and Give Me Some Lovin' and stuff, and then all the Stax Vote catalog. You know, I used to know every Stax song there was, and pretty much every one of them in the Vote catalog. But Don and Duck Dunn were like that. You know, they were just best friends, close friends. Mm-hmm. And I became, I guess, they were I was their protege. You know, they were introducing me. That's the reason I got through the doors of Stax. You know, Don saw something and Duck saw something that nobody else could see. And so he actually opened the doors to where I'm sitting right now, you know, Don Nix. He's directly responsible, you know, for getting me on the road to doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
And you wrote together, you and Don Nix.
Yeah, we did. As a matter of fact, at Duck's house, A Day Without Jesus.
Can you do that? Would you be interested in doing that?
Yeah, sure. Hang on.
I mean, I surprised you, but that's why I wanted you to keep the guitar there with you, but that's okay.
Let me see. Let's see, it's a C. I want it to be lower. It has to go. This was during the Vietnam War. We would go, Don and I would go over to Duck's every Sunday, you know, and we'd play music. He'd play me Duck would play me all kinds of stuff, you know. And they had a spinet, Duck and his wife and his two boys, they had a spinet piano at the end of the room. And they were living out in Whitehaven. That's just outside of Memphis. That's another part of Memphis. And Don was telling me about his brother coming from Vietnam, was in Vietnam. And it just really struck a note with me, you know, because they had rejected me being in the armed forces. But it's just this whole thing. I said, let's write a song, Bobby. Let's write about this. We were talking about, you know, this thing. And I was standing in the valley when they brought young Willie home. And I'll never forget the way my mom cried when they laid him in the ground. The preacher preached a sermon, and they sang the sad, sad songs. But I know I'm gonna meet him in heaven, 'cause he never lived a day without Jesus. Oh, you. Willie, he had seen the world by the time he was 21. Mama, she was so proud of him, so proud of a soldier's son. Willie never ever dreamed to shoot another man down. God, you gotta forgive him. He never lived a day without Jesus. Oh, you. Lord, he's my brother, and he'll always be my friend. So please won't you understand him and lend him a helping hand if he needs one. Bye.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's good to sing that song again. I may have left something out, but it tells the story, you know. And his brother was not named Willie. I only used that name because I had a friend that I was in school with named Willie Heiss, and Willie that name just seemed to fit the story that we was telling, you know.
And he'll only find out all these years later now that you did that.
Yeah.
He's never known.
Willie?
No, he never knew that.
No, he never did. And I hope he gets to see this video so he'll know. I never told him, but that's really it, though. But Don and Duck, they really did what was needed to get me out there and support me, with my. It took me in the right doors, and they produced my first single that had Booker T and EMGs on it and Memphis Horns, but you really wouldn't. It's different. They wanted to take me. I was the first white artist. Yeah, Stax. I was the first white artist signed to their newly formed hip label, and they wanted me. It was during we had this British invasion with like Freddie and the Dreamers and Peter Noon and those guys. And, there's a lot of artists. It was really during the whole Beatle, British invasion. And so they wanted to, Stax wanted to be a part of that. And so they created another label, and it was called Hip, the Hip label. And I was the first white artist signed to their Hip label. And we did like Raspberry Rug. Leon Russell and Donna Washburn wrote it. And it really wasn't. It had slide trombone. I mean, that kind of thing. So it really didn't turn out like I wanted. I was envisioning myself, being Otis Redding. Because I went out on the road with Booker T and the MGs when Isaac Hayes and David Porter wouldn't go because of Dr. King being shot.
Wow.
And so they wouldn't go. So I went. My first airplane flight was when I went down to Macon, Georgia with Booker T and the MGs. And Duck's bass amp blew out, so they took out a bottom speaker from Leslie and cranked it up. It was really good, But I'm cut from a good cloth, But they signed me to that thing, and when I was playing the cabaret club down on Summer, and I think it was Summer. I can't remember. No, Poplar and Southern, down by the railroad track in Memphis State. It was right on the corner. Trains would come by and the building would shake. They'd come by real, real slow and then rumble. I'd be in the middle of playing, you could hear them go, and the whole building would start to shake. But really good. And they discovered Delaney and Bonnie. Mm. All right, at both Carolina Lanes, or I think that's right, in Hawthorne, California. Yep. And so it was Bonnie and Delaney at the time, and she was going to be the white Aretha Franklin, and Stax was going to put the whole machine behind her and do a number like Otis, like they did with Otis Redding and Sam and Dave, and turns out they actually did do the first record first and one and only one for Stax. But they came to, Don and Duck brought them to see me at the cabaret. And after my last set, I went down and said hello. They were just sitting down there at a four-top. And
got it.
Yeah. They were sitting at a four-top. Right there. Right there. And so when I sat down, I didn't miss words at all in front of Duck and Don. They said, we're going to put a band together. We're planning on starting a band, putting a band. Would you like to come out and be a part of it? And I went, yeah, I'd love it. I mean, without talking to anybody, Duck or Don or my guys, I saw that as opportunity knocking. Mm-hmm. And it did. It knocked. And it put me this direction here. I mean, I love Don Nix and Duck Dunn, what wonderful people they did to set me on my journey, and Don was, I don't know, he's still in Memphis and he still does what he does. I went out, I've been to Memphis twice since my mom passed away. Went there once when my mom passed away, and then my brother. Then I went back to see about things then. But when my mom passed away, I didn't know. I was staying at the Talbot Airs, and that's a great place. They have one of my grand pianos, my old grand pianos in suite number 2. And now they have all the Blues Society. They all come. It's made that quite legendary now. But I went out to a club in Memphis called Neil's, and that's where all the rock and roll takes place. And when I came in, it's like they knew I was coming, and it was like, Bobby Whitlock is in the building.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
That's embarrassing.
Bobby Whitlock is in the building. and so I got up, and Don was on his way there. I didn't know it, but the place was full, and everybody knew I was coming. It was uplift for me, going through what I was going through. But I got through. We played bell bottom blues, a whole bunch of stuff. Everybody knew my stuff. And I went, when it was over, I had to go back to the hotel because I was getting ready to leave. And I got outside and I opened the door to my car and it said, Bobby Whitlock has left the building. That's absolutely true, man. Absolutely true. Don also wrote Going Down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, all I have to say is I have nothing but love in my heart and gratitude to Don Nix and Duck Dunn for what they did for me all those years ago, 50-something years ago. That's it. And I'm really grateful to be able to sit here and do this and say this, while I can, I ain't no spring chicken.
Well, let's hope it lasts a long time.
You better believe it. You better believe it. I will be around forever, for perpetuity, because I've graduated from this school into another school. See, my artwork will far, far outlast anything I've done. I think it's an addition to what I've done. It may carry my musical life on with it. But I love you, Coco.
I love you too.